Now, what is online? I see a lot of people really do get what you're saying. What are the main bullet points of what is being said out there that is I would say, and I'm not going to say dangerous, but is weakening the ability, because I say if you don't know your enemy, you can't fight at all. You're not fighting anything. So what are the misconceptions out there that you think you see the most, that you think, oh, well, these people are growing, and nothing's changing because you're not doing X. What are those specific things that are being spread that are false?
Mel, I about 3 years ago, I stopped listening to other political pundits and I started focusing it. And there's a point I'm telling this, but like I started focusing in entirely on watching leftist trainings. I started with diversity trainings. I started with college classes. Then I kind of worked back into the far left radical revolutionary socialist thing. And I kind of lived for 3 years in this little bubble where I wasn't listening to anyone else. I was literally just listening to the left. Now, I have recently emerged from that bubble and I've recently started listening to some of the things that conservative commentators and influencers are saying. And I'm not going to name any names. I don't want to embarrass anyone, but it is extremely obvious to me that the people who are teaching the conservative right what the left believes do not actually listen to the left. I have listened to thousands of hours of these people, and they are very clear about what they believe. And then I go on Twitter and I see the news stories that are being covered by these conservative organizations, and they are completely unhinged from what the left is actually talking about and what the left is doing. And what it is, it's a conservative interpretation on some kind of like high level idea of what they think the left is doing, usually grounded in TikTok videos or something that went viral on the internet. And those things that go viral on the internet usually are not real. They're not actually the
Right.
core of what the left is doing. And so what I see and what I get very frustrated with is just it is extremely dangerous to think your enemy is over here doing
Right.
this thing
I
when in
agree.
fact your enemy is over here doing this other thing. And I know what the enemy is doing. The enemy is trying to abolish capitalism, which they define as private property ownership. They're trying to abolish the gender binary. They're trying to abolish the nuclear family. They are very clear about this. They are trying to very literally right now organize across the country to overthrow the United States government. This is not theoretical. They're telling us how they're doing it. And what I see reflected in conservative media does not reflect any of that. So, what I would say to people is if you find people talking about race when it comes to the left, I understand why you think they're against white people. That's not what they're against. If you find people saying they hate all men, okay, I understand why you might think that, but it is way deeper than that. If you find people saying that trans people are destroying the world, okay, I understand why you think that, but it's very, very deeper than that. And so we've got to start going several layers underneath because until you guys get to the root cause of this problem, they are going to continue to win. And if they win, not only are you going to suffer, but your children are going to suffer far greater than you. And the greatest fear that I have, Mel, is I know people who have had their kids taken away by the government because of the attacks that are happening on parental rights. This is going to start happening more and more and more and more and more. And if so people don't start taking this seriously, they're very literally going to get their children taken away from them. Remember, parental rights are considered to be private property that the left wants to abolish. That's where all those ideas are coming from. You have to understand what you're fighting if you're going to defeat it.
Now, these people, have they infiltrated the Democratic Party? Have they infiltrated the any of those, or do they not infiltrate? Like, do they try to recruit in there, or no? They keep to themselves.
Oh, no, they certainly try to recruit. Like they will try to recruit anyone, but like so how the left feels about okay, so first of all, people need to know like the left doesn't even talk about the conservatives or the political right or the
I
Republicans. They
know.
kind of
I've
do it
told
to
people
laugh
that
at it.
because of you. Like, stop
Yeah.
sharing it. I understand you think you're making a difference, but you're not. They actually like it.
Oh, they love it. They love all the crazy stuff. They use it to rile their people up.
Right.
So they actually, the left is far more, like have far much more acrimony for the Democratic Party and what they call the neoliberals. They do not like them at all. They don't like the Democratic Party. They don't like the progressives. They do not like the Democratic Socialists. Again, this new Revolutionary Communist Party was launched specifically because they hate the Democratic Socialists of America. Now, that said, Do they try to recruit from there? Oh, they'll try to recruit anyone. They will talk to anyone, and they're very actively working to try to pull everyone on the left even more far left
Right.
than they were before. And they'll try recruiting in independent circles. They'll try recruiting in
Yeah.
libertarian circles. They do not stick to their own when it comes to like recruiting. They're very serious about growing their ranks, but are they infiltrating the Democratic Party? Here and there, kind of, but not to any significant degree, because most of what they do to gain power is actually more about institutional power than it is political power.
Yeah, because what bothers me the most, at least with what I do, I call opposition playbooks, and I put them on my resource page, and I say, just go read what they're saying, and then you don't need to take it from me. You don't even have to do your own research. If they put it out there, and that's especially for all the people that are behind Agenda 2030 and the full track and trace surveillance technocracy that they'd like us to live in, and which is very different than the people you're talking about. Now, but it is real, and they do talk about it, and they don't hide it. And enough people don't do that because the big influencers on, especially the right, they think they know it all. They talk about the Great Reset like it's da da da. They don't get the whole surveillance state. They don't get that it's already built. They don't get that they don't care. People are still thinking about a plan. And I'm like, listen, the people that are running this, the parent company, they think they're the parent company of planet Earth. They don't care about people at all. Like, they're trying to blame this person or that person. And I'm like, no, no, no. They don't have allegiance to a flag, to a country, to a religion, to a race. No, they really are like what they describe in 1984 as the state is the state. But both of these have it. Now,